Hello and welcome to Hispanic Pride, Orgullo Hispano, a bilingual podcast produced by the Miami-Dade County Hispanic Affairs Advisory Board in collaboration with community newspapers. Today, we're joined by Dr. Martha Wydra, founder and CEO of the Wings to Freedom Foundation. She's an immigrant from Colombia who built a successful career in nursing while overcoming domestic violence as she raised two young children. Today, she's dedicated to helping other survivors find hope, support, and justice through the foundation she created. Martha, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Griselle. Thank you for the great opportunity to talk about this so important subject.
First of all, I want to say that you're Hispanic Pride, Orgullo Hispano. I know your pain. I know what you've been through. And I admire very much how you turned your pain into a success and how you turned things around. And it's really an example for all the women that experience domestic violence and intimate partner violence.
Thank you for saying that, because coming from a professional like you, they have such a beautiful career, so professional, such a beautiful woman. I really take it to my heart, those words. Thank you.
Thank you. So I know your story, but for the viewers, tell us about Martha. When did you come to United States?
I came to United States about 28 years ago. I was a very young woman. For very specific reasons, I got a political asylum. And since then, I made a decision to build myself and not blend in the community, to be in this country and enjoy this country to the fullest and pursuing education and a better life. So,
did you always know that you wanted to be a nurse?
Actually, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a doctor. For a while, I always wanted to be a doctor. And that was the idea. When I had the opportunity to go back to school, I was already the mom of two kids. And so I said, let me go to nursing, because I think nursing has a lot of kindness and I really love to take care of people. And I believe that God gave me the opportunity to get paid to do what I love the most, which is providing to the more need.
Yes, you're the woman behind the mission. But tell us about the signs. I mean, you experienced domestic violence, intimate partner violence. And tell us, like, for the teens out there, those in high school, college, dating, young women, and even women my age, when we start dating, what are the signs that we should be aware so we don't fall in love with the wrong guy?
Well, let's say, first of all, the domestic violence or intimate partner violence has no age, no race, no social status. It happens across the board. And it's hard because when you're a teenager, the least thing that you want is people telling you that's not the right guy for you. Because when you do that, it's like telling the person, just go all the way down. So identifying the red flags is very challenging, but I believe through education and awareness, it may be possible at least to understand and know that there is some difference between love, possession, and pain. And sometimes we get confused of that amount of overwhelming love. And it's just
jealousy?
Possessions. Yes, it's just to try to possess, to try to overwhelm, to try to do every single... it's like when you're fishing. You go throw the bait, have a good one, a chunk one, to get that fish, and you know exactly when you're rolling, you know exactly what you're going to do. The fish doesn't know that. So I will say that's equivalent when it happens in the relationships. You get so overwhelmed by the initial love that you get lost in the signs of the red flags, and that's very dangerous.
Is that what happened to you? You fell in love, you got married, you had kids, and then the violence started.
Yes, in the beginning, when I was with this person, he was very attentive with me. He was showing me like he fell in love with me at the first sign. And eventually, is to realize there was just the way to fish. And yes, I fell in love. Yes, I started a relationship thinking that was my second marriage. So I thought there would be the beautiful opportunity of God to have somebody in my life that will be building an amazing life afterwards. But that love, it was just like in a smoke thing in my hands, meaning they just disappear without you even seeing it, and became that love and that like in my body or my face or my personality became just an opportunity to get me in the point they could abuse me without me actually realizing it and making it harder to live. Because no, the worst part is not when you fall in love and you fall in this type of person's behavior. The hard part is this: once you are in, it's absolutely difficult to get out.
So, what was the trigger moment where you said, I can't continue experiencing years of abuse? I can't really go on like this. What happened that you said, I need out? I need to stop this?
The actual real statistics say that you attempt to live at least 7 times before you actually live, if you can live and make it alive. And many times when the things start getting worse and worse, I want to leave. I don't want to be there. I was so down. I lost myself in that process. But the moment that I left was the moment that I went straight to the hospital with a broken face and a broken body, and literally swimming in my own blood, choking on my own blood. And thanks God, after that day, I was set up free. It almost cost my life, but I made it alive and out.
And because you experienced that, you had to have plastic surgery. And that plastic surgery still, even though you look so beautiful today,
Thank you.
It has scars.
Yes, and unfortunately, many of those scars you don't see. I have permanent nerve damage in my face, so it's very painful, and it's like a daily reminder. If I see a negative, it's a daily reminder of the darkest time of my life. But if I see it as a positive, it's the daily reminder that I need to continue to work hard to prevent that this happens to other women, including my own daughter.
And that's what you have done. I mean, while all these things were going on and you were looking for legal advice and hiring an attorney, and he had more money than you and more powerful than you, and then you were trying to do your best, trying to learn about the legal system because you're in the medical field, so it's very foreign to you. So how did you... What happened? I understand you had some trouble there with the accessing legal resources.
I always believe in today's days more than ever, you should never fight against the system. You need to fight with the system to make the changes needed for the perpetrators to actually pay for their crimes, because domestic violence is a crime and people deserve to get paid jail for that. And the process, it was really challenging because there was no way for me to get a good lawyer. Most of the lawyers, and with all my respect, because there's amazing, beautiful lawyers out there, very professional, but it's really hard and it's very expensive. And I was a single mom with 4 kids, 2 from my first marriage and the other, my 2 little ones. So it was a very challenging. God is beautiful and give me an army of angels. I can count you on one of those.
Oh, thank you.
From my
so
heart.
Honored.
And eventually I met Mr. Cristóbal Padrón. He's a great lawyer. He practiced family law and other aspects of the law. And when he found out about my case, he said, I want to take this case. And for the first time, because many lawyers refused my case, for the first time, I found hope. And he told me, no, I'm going to help you because I despise domestic violence. And my case is very extensive and really painful. And he said, no, I'm up for the challenge. He actually was able to walk me through the whole legal system and be able to be absolutely free legally from that situation. And now, today's he's actually the board member. He's the legal department director of Wings to Freedom Foundation, where he actually continued to take cases like mine pro bono and supply other lawyers as well to Wings to Freedom Foundation or pro bono. To all those victims, to those women that meet criteria as a domestic violence, intimate partner violence survivors, he actually, through our foundation and Wings to Freedom, he provides these services for free.
And that's the next question. Like, while all of this was going on and you were going through your medical procedures, through the legal, trying to find a good attorney to help you, and stumbling into many that didn't, you said after you met Cristobal, you said we have to create a foundation to help women so that they don't go through the same thing that I went through. Is that how it happened?
The first time that I decided to create a foundation, I didn't know exactly what it was. It was a promise that I did to my daughter. My daughter paid big time consequences for this situation. And I made a promise to her a day, and I said, Lorelai, or we stay on the floor and cry, or we stand up and fight, and we're going to fight. How? I don't know, because we didn't know how to do it. So we say, I'm going to create an organization. I'm going to knock doors. I'm going to do something. And that whole process, I met Mr. Cristobal. But the Wings to Freedom Foundation was born a promise to my daughter that would stand up, not just for me, for her and for many other women. And that's how we start the process.
What is the foundation? You have people, you have an array of board members, and what do they do?
We go back to the Army Angels, and there is every board member. If you go to wins2freedomfoundation.org, every member in Wins to Freedom Foundation, they have a specialization in their field. Give you an example. We have a doctor, a trauma surgeon doctor. She came from UM in Jackson, and she has her own clinic today. Dr. Game, she actually has provided services. If we have a victim that requires anything medical, she will see our victims for free. She has her own clinic. And sometimes we actually get patients from her clinic because they are victims of domestic violence, and then we see them. So it's a partnership that we have with many of the board members. We also have another board member who is she specialized in everything related to websites and web designs and things like that. She makes sure that all the events and everything that we do out there, she will place in the media just to let people know what we are doing and tell people and give the message, come to us, there is hope.
So if anyone is watching that they're experiencing domestic violence, maybe they're confused, maybe they're scared to come forward because, many women depend financially on men. And I'm just assuming for the sake of the conversation that are women, but it does happen the other way around as well. It's less, the statistics are lower, but it does happen. But for the sake of the conversation, anybody watching that they can contact you on Wings to Freedom Foundation, and then they can receive legal support from Cristobal Padron, the attorney who's your director of legal services, the doctors, and all of the angels on your board.
Yes, absolutely. So we do have a lot of services, and also we also provide psychological therapy because we also have doctors in the field. We also have an advocate that's been in the field for more than 40 years, Dr. Sher Brown. And so we can provide to the victim, the survivor, all the emotional support to go through the whole legal system, because the legal department is very important, it's crucial. But going through the process, many women, they don't continue the case. That's another reason that sometimes the perpetrators don't pay for this crime, because it's really painful emotionally and physically to go through the whole process in the legal system.
And in your case, it was even more because you were studying for your doctorate degree in nursing, which I want to take the opportunity to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Because you're my hero. You have 4 kids, and at the same time, legal challenges, medical challenges, and you studying for a doctorate degree in nursing. So that is amazing. So talk to us about the gala. You're having your first gala on Friday, July 31st. How did this idea come about, and what is the purpose of the fundraising gala?
Well, this is an idea for the whole board members and myself. We meet every month and we talk about the projects that we have, and we decided a gala is not just a gala. This is to celebrate life. This is to celebrate those that will survive. So this is the way to tell the world out there, the community, the leaders, the lawmakers, the people like us, we exist and we are here, not just to put a nice dress on, which is beautiful. It's about collecting funds so we can assist these victims. I want to acknowledge the domestic violence doesn't end when you leave the perpetrator, when you are actually physically safe out of this situation. the domestic violence, the intimate partner violence continues, and you ended with financially hurt, emotional hurt. You ended in a situation that's really hard to live there. And that's another reason sometimes the victims go back to the perpetrators. So I want to let people know that we are here offering all these services, and that's one of the purpose of the gala. Let people know that we are there, that they have hope, and that we are collecting some funds to provide them what they need after surviving.
So where do they go if they want to buy tickets and support you and support the foundation and come to the gala?
You can go to our website is www.winstofreedomfoundation.org, and you go to events. Right there, you click and you buy tickets. It's all kind of tickets. You can get an individual ticket, or you can get a full table, or there is many other ways to support and sponsor.
Thank you for being here. You're really a Hispanic pride, Orgullo Hispano. But before we leave, tell me about the programs that your foundation is working on.
One of the most special programs that we are doing right now, the name is Healing Behind Bars. This program is assisting the inmates. They are there, many of them, because they were defending themselves from the perpetrators. So this program, Healing Behind Bars, is supported by the Mayor, Daniela Levin Cava, and also the Director of the Correctional System, Sharia Green, and of course, lead and designed by Yvonne Mesa. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you, because those leaders are the ones that are creating the real impact and the changes in the law to assist the domestic violence victims.
And to our viewers, thank you for joining us on Hispanic Pride, Orgullo Hispano. Follow us at Hispanic MDC on Instagram, Facebook, and X. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at Advocacy MDC. We'll see you next time.